The overhead bin revolution. You might soon pay to reserve a bin. With increasing and restrictive checked baggage fees, passengers are doing everything they can, although there are to take as much cabin baggage on board as possible. But space on an air, so for most passengers and their cabin bags, it's first come, first served. This makes holding. Two overhead bin manufacturers are using technology to assist passengers in finding and securing that precious overhead space. They showcase these. Passengers waste time opening bins that are already closed to see if there is any space. Hint: cabin crew. Enter the simple but clever airspace lighting concept from Airbus. A strip of light. Some airlines have attempted to reserve space in certain bins for passengers in certain classes. Virgin Australia, Sodil Aviation has proposed technology to allow passengers to book specific bin space in advance, anywhere on the plane, though presumably most passengers would only be willing to pay for space immediately around their seat. Small screens. Deal is confident that if passengers of low-cost airlines, especially, are willing to pay extra to take their cabin bags on board, they may be willing to also pay an additional fee to ensure their bag will have its own reserved space directly above their seat. While no airlines have yet installed this new technology, Deal says that airlines could offer this during the booking process, in the same way they offer checked luggage options, or as an upsell during the check-in or boarding process. Featured image courtesy of Airbus.
Raindrop, drop top smoking, no cooking the hot pot. Fucking on your bitch, yeah, that. Looking up, open the park pot.